Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever and whenever you get to watch this. You're almost welcome as ever to episode 1 of our brand new 4-part live stream series, courtesy of the globe's leading streaming provider, OneStream Live. And this month we are looking at the AI Livestream Advantage. Well, what does that mean in real terms? Stick around and we'll break it down for you in the very simplest and smartest of ways, as we always do. I'm Big Joe Shep, founder and head of live streaming at Livestream Solutions Livestream Academy. I'm very, very proud brand ambassador for OneStream Live. Now, this month, I'm joined for my entire 4-part series by my new co-host, Suzi Manley, agency owner, community builder, friend to billions, and co-founder of the brand new The Insight Exchange. More to come on that. Suzi, how are you?
Good morning, Joe. Well, it's morning where I am here in good old Brisbane, Vegas in Australia. It's ridiculous o'clock. It's 5 o'clock here. So if I appear a bit doughy-eyed, that's probably what it is. Good morning, lovely to see you.
Yeah, and to you. Right. So together over the next 4 weeks, we will be showing the viewers exactly how AI can support the live stream journey, not by replacing them, but by freeing up time, simplifying your prep and helping to engage your audience in much more meaningful ways. Over the next 4 weeks, we'll explore how real creators, coaches, consultants, businesses are using AI to plan faster, to connect better, and to grow smarter like we are. So stay tuned. It's Tuesday, it's 8 p.m. UK and Ireland, it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. It is 5 a.m. in Australia, and we are live as always, worldwide, courtesy of OneStream Live. This is your go-to 30 minutes for updates and insights on streaming strategy and smart digital engagement. It's the Big Joe Show. And as we all know, there's no show like a Big Joe Show. Keep it right here. Oh, welcome. So straight into things. So Suzi, we're gonna start off on with a bit of foundation type thing this evening. So before AI and after AI, if you like, our live stream planning. So it is a totally different beast now. The planning process before AI, to be honest, it was Jesus. Suzi's one of my best mates, right? And she knows I'm an overthinker, and she sends me down rabbit holes though, because we both have ideas out of the yin yang, don't we?
You go down. You do. You think, I'll just jump on and spend a little bit of time doing this, and our brains. I don't think anyone's brains quite work the way our brains work, Joe. And we end up down those rabbit holes. We're bad enough on our own, but I think when you and I get together on something, the rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It reminds me of, Alice in Wonderland, where, all I could see is I was falling through the air with, tables and chairs and little bottles of potion and ideas floating around us, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. But it's amazing because the thing that I found with, with AI is a lot of people sort of say, it stops you thinking and it stops us being creative. And yet I found the complete opposite to that. I found that when I use it, I get more creative. I have more ideas popping out of my brain. It just helps us condense it down to a much smaller, time frame than what it used to take us to do shows like this, which is just incredible. I love it.
Yeah, it is that overthinking, even if it's still there for the likes of me, that was massive. The time it took, the pressure to be creative every single week. I would spend literally hours and hours, not because I'm not clever, but because it's almost like this perfectionism thing, trying to outline the episode. So for OneStream Live, we came up with a plan of a 4-part series, so 4 episodes in a month, broken down into 30-minute slots that built the story as we go. So first of all, you've got to come up with the idea. You've got to do your research, and this was a big thing. When you're doing your research, you can take you down rabbit holes, but the research is there to say, okay, well, what would I be looking for online? What are other people looking for online? And then you've got to take that concept then you've got to flesh it out, then you've got to break it down into 4 equal parts, then you've got to get the flow right, then you've got to see who you want as your guests on. Do you want to do it your own? Do you want to do it on with a co-host? Excuse me. How is all of that going to work? Then you've got to write the sort of effectively the script, the show running order, and all of that as well. But when I did 2 things. I started looking at AI about 18 months, sort of 2 years ago, and not long after we'd gone from a hobby business full-time hobby business for 6 years into the business and helping organizations. And then the next best thing I did was we got together and I came on your ChatGPT course. Just tell us a little bit about that, Suze.
Oh, look, it was, I love doing that course. It was the first time I'd done it. It was my ChatGPT Advantage course. And what I found was I was like you. So, ChatGPT was made available to, the unwashed masses, which is us, the end of 2022. And, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that's quite interesting. And talk about rabbit hole. Oh, holy crap on a cracker. That was just mind blowing. And, I don't think Troy saw me for like 3 weeks when I first started playing with ChatGPT. And I saw such a massive potential. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know how it worked, how I got better, what could I use it for, and just more and more and more and more. And I absorbed everything that I could possibly find about ChatGPT, and it was great. But what I found was a lot of the people that I was learning from were younger, they were in their 20s and early 30s. Yep. And so for a lot of people, in our generation, good old Generation X, and the baby boomers, which is, sort of your 40, 45 and above, they were really struggling. And I had a lot of people sort of saying to me, well, what is it? And they sort of could see a little bit of potential in it, but it became too overwhelming for them because they couldn't find anyone or anything that would explain it in everyday terms. It's a bit like, when I was sort of teaching mum and dad how to use a mobile phone. My niece came in who's, she was in her late teens, early 20s, and she's like, oh, grandma, you just do this and this and this and press this button and do this and this. And it's really easy. Right. And mum's like, okay, my mum's pretty switched on, right? Like, but it just threw her. So after she'd finished, I said, all right, now let's try this again. And I explained it step by step in a different way that mum and dad could understand. And as I said, they're very, very intelligent people, but this was completely new technology. And when you come across 2 or 3 things that your brain can't pick up, your brain sort of shuts down. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, I think there's a hole here that can be filled by someone explaining to that age group, to the Gen X and the baby boomers, in a language we understand, in a, no fluff, no jargon, just in normal people, everyday terms, and not, going through it, going, just press this, and this. And so I put together the ChatGPT Advantage course, and I did it over, about 4 days and 3 hours, sort of each day. And it sort of went through from the very, very beginning to, how to set it all up, how to train it, how to, learn how to prompt, how to talk to it, how to utilize it to be able to come out at the end of it, to help it run your business, and just save you days, if not weeks of work on the everyday things that we do in our businesses, that are repetitive, or that, as you said, like doing shows like this that would take us a hell of a lot longer, than what it does with ChatGPT. And as part of that, I came up, well, I didn't come up, people were developing what they call frameworks for prompts. And, so that was something that I very much included in the course. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a ball, and I think I could have done it for another, couple of days. As it was, I started it over 3 days, and I ended up pushing it out to 4 days because there was just so much stuff.
And because it was 11 o'clock at night till 2 in the morning for me, it was the best time I've spent, because I was like, okay, anything you do, it's like, like saying anything. We follow each other, and it's like, okay, we trust each other, so it was worth doing. Now, you have got one coming up. Tell us about this one. When's the next one?
I do. So, you know, there were a lot of people that missed out on the first round. So they said, you know, when are you going to do another one? So I've decided to do another one on the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th of September. And they will go from about 9 o'clock in the morning. This is Queensland time here in Australia, 9 o'clock in the morning to midday over 4 days. And, you know, you get everything included that you need. You get a workbook. You know, if you get in early enough, I'll be able to give you a fully customized workbook, which I gave you, Joe. So I give everyone a questionnaire, find out a little bit more about their business, and I can go and customize their workbook, especially for the prompts and things like that. And, you know, and we have a fantastic couple of days. And, you know, even going through, even when we did that first round, I can't remember what it was, but something came in, something was released, whether it was images or something. It might have been images, had only just been released while we were actually doing the course. And I ended up changing one of the days up to, you know, to show everyone how it was
that, yeah, no, it was that real time adaptation that really helps. So that's 9th, 10th, 11th. I'll be promoting that out as well, more through my sites and stuff as well. And you've got to get on this course, lads, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to get on this course because it is the foundation of everything that I'm doing now. Really came home to roost during that, including having my own. So I pay for ChatGPT Plus each month. I have my own AI support assistant called Siobhan, and Shivy is great because anything she doesn't do, it doesn't tell me off for a start, which is quite good. Just brilliant. And you can train your own, and we've got one, haven't we, for the new project, the Insight Exchange Max as well. So anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole too much, but ChatGPT Advantage course run by Suzi through the her 5 Foot Road group of companies. Her agency will be doing that. So what therefore surprised me the most, well, it didn't take away my creativity. And this is where I think people are fundamentally wrong with whether it's live streaming or anything else. AI, it gave me a clear foundation of where to start, because when we're all so busy in an overpaced world, we need solutions. But don't just take, and I've told this people time and time again, and I know you do the same, Suze, don't take AI as is. You've got to have the initial idea. Close your eyes. What is your initial idea? Write down some notes. What is the concept that you want to achieve? So do like you would normally plan and do. Then put it through AI. It fleshes it out. In fact, it gives you lots of ideas you haven't even thought of. And you think, oh, that's clever. That's good. But at the end of the day, you've got to take it back, haven't you? And you've got to rewrite it in your style, in your brand. So everything is in BJS style. And all my prompt systems, everything like that, Siobhan has that now. So when you put it in, is it in the BJ style? Yes, blah, 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 blah. That's important, isn't it? Because AI is your thinking partner rather than a replacement, Suze, yeah?
Yeah, 100%, Joe. And that's where it's very important that you set your Chat GPT up correctly from the beginning, because you know, I call mine Charlie, and I talk to Charlie all the time. Because I'm like you, I have the paid version. I think it's, you know, $20 a month, which, trust me, best $20 you can spend, you know, for your business. And I use the voice feature a lot. So if I'm in the car, I'll pop my voice feature on and I'll talk to Charlie as I would talk to you or, you know, someone else. And you're right. You to me, it fires up my creativity, because I think, oh, I didn't think of that, because I've trained her properly, so she knows everything there is to know about my business and what's coming up and what's happening. And so she'll suggest different things to me. But you have to take that, and I call it putting in your own 2 bobs worth. And, you know, because a lot of people have this misconception that anything created by AI will sound robotic. It will sound generic. It won't sound, you know, and I sort of poo-poo that very much so, because, you know, and I've often said, anyone, I like that, anyone who wants to go onto my timeline on Facebook, if you can pick 10 posts and say, that's AI, that's Suzi, that's AI, that's Suzi. If you get it right, I'll seriously give you $1 million, because there is no way that anyone has ever been able to pick which is which. Some things I create with AI, some things I just create, myself. But you have to put you into it. You have to make sure that it's your voice. Don't ever let anyone take your voice, including AI. And I think it's important to understand that, but you have to understand how to use it so that it is in your voice and that you know how to add to it. And like I said, put your own 2 bobs worth in, because it's very, very important. Otherwise, I think you come across as disingenuous. Is that right? Is that the right word?
That's spot on. Yeah,
Very early.
it's not authentic, it's not real. It's plagiarism, actually, and not very good plagiarism, So ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to tonight's show if you're just joining us, or this morning's show, wherever you are, if you're like 5 o'clock or 20 past 5 in Australia time. So you are welcome to the show, Big Joe show every Tuesday this month, courtesy of OneStream Live. It is the AI Livestream Advantage. My co-host from Australia, the great Suzi Manley. Suzi, hand over to you now. Prompt framework, explain what all of that is to people, and then we're going to show them how we produce this month's show. So over to you.
Okay, so this is the bit that my brain loves this, because when you have, it's like anything, you need, anything you do, you need to have direction, you need to have structure. Otherwise, you just off with the fairies, and you're not going to get as good a result from anything unless you do it properly and you do it in the correct way. And I always equate it to this. If you are going in and using ChatGPT, remembering it's just a tool, guys, it's not something that's going to take over the world. There are jobs that will be taken by AI, but let me tell you something. It will be someone using AI that is going to take the jobs, not AI is going to take the job. So, I always say that someone using AI will take the job. So if you're in business, you need to make sure you learn, ChatGPT and AI, because if you don't, your competitors will, and you will be left in the dust. I've said it a million times, Joe, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. AI is here to stay, but you need to know how to use it properly. And prompting is a brilliant, brilliant place to start. You have to know how to prompt it, because I always equate it to this. If I walk into a coffee shop and I walk up to the counter and I go, yeah, g'day, mate, can I have a coffee? I'm going to get a coffee, aren't I? Right?
Yeah.
But I might not get the coffee that I want. Whereas if I walked up to the counter and said, yeah, g'day, mate, can I have a caramel latte, full strength, use this kind of milk, I want it extra hot, I want it in a mug, and put a little bit of choppy on top for me, I'm going to get the exact coffee that I love, and I'm going to enjoy it a lot more, and I'm going to be a lot happier.
Yeah,
instead of saying, just give me a coffee.
Yeah, it's a difference between guesswork and prompting with structure, isn't it? On that, you're gonna share your screen.
So there's a couple of different frameworks that we teach that are really, really simple to remember. But the one that I love the most and I tend to use the most is called CRAFT. And as many of us Aussies know, CRAFT stands for something else, which applies to me a lot of times, and that is I can't remember a thing. That's one of the things that CRAFT stands for. But the other thing that it stands for in the AI world is character, role, action, format, and tone. And so these are the different things that you got to think when you're prompting. So you have to give it a character. So who is the speaker or the voice? And I'll show you an example of this in a second. You have to define that role. And then you've got to, say, what is the functional responsibility of that character? Are they helping? Are they teaching? Are they selling? Are they entertaining? What are they doing? All right. Give them an action. What action should the output be? So, generate a script, write a blog, write me an email, build me a plan, whatever that action is. So the format is your structure of the output, or what the output should be. Okay. And your output obviously is what ChatGPT gives to you. Yep. So do you want it to be a list? Do you want it to be a tweet thread? Do you want to be a case study? What do you want to be? And then finally, the T stands for tone. So what vibe or style should the output have? So that's your tone, your brand voice. Is it friendly? Is it cheeky? Is it an expert? Right? Is it Generation X? Is it, who are you talking to? Has to do with what your tone is. And you should know those things about your own branding and incorporate that into the prompt that we're doing. So I'm going to share my screen with you when I know how to press the right button. Here we go, share my screen with you. It's just giving me tips, sorry. And I just want to make sure I'm okay. So what I'm going to do, Joe, is I'm going to share with everybody Max. Now, Max is what we call a custom GPT, which is something that I build for my clients. And so what Max is Max, it knows absolutely everything there is to know about the Insight Exchange, which is the really exciting project that Joe and I have got coming up in September. And so it says here, Max is the caffeinated brain you didn't know you needed, spitting out smart content, killer funnels and ideas that slap. Perfect for Gen X and baby boomers who have seen it all and want something better, because that is the audience that we're going to be talking to. And the great thing is Max knows our voices, he knows what we're doing, and he knows absolutely everything there is to know. So he is a part of the team of working together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm just going to show you, hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can see the tab that I'm showing because I just changed tabs. But anyway, so I'm going to show you craft, character, role, action, format, and tone. And here's one that I prepared earlier that we actually did for this, as you said, Jay, the shows that we're doing throughout August. And I'll run through this very, very quickly because I'm very aware of time. So I'm a brand ambassador of OneStream Live and founder of Livestream Solutions. So this is for Joe because it's Joe's show. Livestream Academy. I run a monthly 4-part live stream series aimed at business leaders, digital teams, entrepreneurs, and content creators. So you're telling him who you're talking to. Each episode is 30 minutes long, themed and part of a monthly strategy that connects live streaming to bigger brand marketing and trust building outcomes. The August 2025 series is focused on AI, and it goes into that a little bit more. And so it says here that the goal is to take viewers on a learning journey from chaos to clarity, showing how AI helps. And it said this should culminate in a compelling blog article for Brains Magazine and 4 structured live stream social media posts, all reflecting my style as Big Joe Shep, trustworthy, strategic, personable, clear. And so the request is create a full strategic content suite for 4-part live stream series titled This. The deliverables should include a professional blog article for Brains Magazine at OneStream Live Knowledge Hub. Titles should be strong and audience attracting. The tone must be clear, strategic, and empowered. And it goes through everything a little bit more. So it talks about the audience, the live streamers, the podcasts, the entrepreneurs, the marketing teams, people exploring how AI can support, not replace their creative voice, which is very important. Format and tone is personal, inspiring, educational, without hype, and the structure is clear and progressive. Call to action is encouraging viewers to tune in live, and it goes on. So I don't want to go through and read everything there, Joe, because I know that we have very short for time. And you put final thought here, this prompt should lead to the creation of a fully packaged August series campaign that builds know, like, trust, aligns with OneStream Live capabilities, and positions BJS as a thought leader in AI and live streaming. And so that goes through that craft framework of giving it a character, giving it a role, giving it an action, a format, and a tone. And the output for that is it turned out absolutely incredible. And Joe, I know that you have one there that we had already here's one we prepared earlier for the sake of time, and basically gave us a complete layout of the month.
Yeah, it's like Blue Peter. Here's one we prepared earlier. So let me just I'm going to where am I? I am going to put that. There we go. So screen share. In fact, let me put that on full again, because everybody wants to see your face, but they don't when you want to see my face for radio. So there we are. So this is from that prompt, which was based on the original idea that I had. Normally I would write these prompts myself and developed all these myself. I gave it to Suze to give to Max as part of the testing that we're doing for the Insight Exchange. More to follow, kids. And I said, right, did a prompt. So for my idea, it went to Sue's. So we tick so many different boxes for different things. As our trial and testing, because we trial and test the real things as we're going. And then, so OneStream Live August mini-series, and we write these. I write these every single month for OneStream Live with their team, and we come up. So there's an accompanying, what I call a knowledge hub blog article. There's a blog article coming with this on AI live streaming, which I'll be writing from. I'm an editing contributor to Brains Online Magazine. Excuse me. So that will be going out as well at the end of this month. And do you know why I wrote, based on that prompt, why the series matters? I added in some of these things so that I could see with my own eyes, and I could then send it to OneStream Live, because we've got episode 3 for this, for example. We've got the great Stephen Healy on. Episode 4, we're trying to get the chief operating officer on. No pressure, Bilal, or just so that I mention that publicly. And there we go. And it says who everybody is. It says where the guests are, the main call to action. So we can see in black and white what we're doing. And here we go. The episode guide. The series is made up of 4 weekly live stream episodes, 30 minutes each, roughly, building week on week. Episode 1, AI running my show. And based on that, the great team, Shazeen, brilliant at OneStream Live, then came up with the thumbnails. So we work hand in glove. And this is what it is. Smarter planning, scripting, and prepping. That's the theme. The goal is to save time and sharpen your live stream quality. Tone is honest, practical, behind the scenes. And there's the segments. Brief overview of Suzi a little bit, because it's her first episode, comparing the live stream plan. All of those things that we went through there. And next Tuesday, there's part 2 there ready to go. Part 3, chatbots on the show. Oh, Stephen Healy's going to blow your mind when he shows you an AI co-host of himself. Episode 4, hopefully we've got Bilal on. Who should tune in? Who's a 4? Final thoughts. Right, stop sharing. So let me come back now to the studio. I get so excited. It's more excited than a seagull with a stolen jump. But there we go. That's,
I love it.
Rather than, because originally we got 30 minutes. We're almost up to that now. Me and Suze can talk for hours. So we was like, we've got this already. We don't need to produce something live. We've got it. What we do, what it says on the tin is what we do. We're very good at that, aren't we? You know, we teach people to do what we do day in, day out. So there you are. So from my idea for the show that got the approval from OneStream Live, I then tasked, in the politest way, Suzi as part of our testing of Max, because we're both involved in the Insight Exchange. The Insight Exchange, by the way, you'll get to hear more, but it will be a 24/7 channel on YouTube for a whole variety of shows. We've got a message just coming in there, Susie, before we go. And that Women Getting Visible. That's the great Christina Vidovich, our host from Women Getting Visible. Christina, absolutely brilliant. Great to see you on, and I hope you're having a great time away. I know you're busy getting everything ready for your 3-day event in October. So that's what we did. So we created all of that. She came back with a prompt, and based on the prompt, we then be able to flesh out the 4-part series. It worked between us. It worked really, really well. And there you are. In 30 minutes, we've talked about, hey, you now know who Suzi is even more. You know a little bit about the Insight Exchange. You know about OneStream Live anyway, and how powerful, because without their brilliant studio, and they are bringing more stuff. They're bringing more, I can't tell you. They're bringing more stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
I've been live streaming for a long time, and I'll tell you what, when you showed me this platform, it just, because I was using a different platform before that, which I thought was pretty Mickey Duck. But this is what we call the duck's nuts. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's it just takes live streaming to the next level.
It does, and all of these component parts work hand in glove. Myself and the team working at OneStream Live to create it all together, coming up with ideas, agreeing on where does it fit into their strategy, their roadmap, where's that going. Shazeen and the team all then have to get it sort of promoted out. She's the head of marketing, get all of that type of stuff out there, produce the thumbnails. That allows me to be able to come on, or us in this occasion, to be able to do it. It saves so much time. That's really all it is. So really, you could create a 30-minute show in 5 minutes.
Oh, easily
With the craft prompt to do it and go live, just giving you a number of bullet points, that you can think, oh, I need to go live, I need to do something right. And in 5 minutes, you can get it done. 30 minutes, you're live and you're done, and nobody would know the wiser. But it's all about the foundation, Susie, isn't it? There's
100%.
no shortcut to creativity and to what we're doing. It supplements what we do. Give us your final thoughts as we wrap up.
Look, I think it's like anything, it is a tool, and it is something that will, when used correctly, can be so powerful and can do so much for you, but just save you so much time. So for those out there, and I just want to say g'day to David Topping's watching. Good morning, David, or good evening, David, depending on where you are. It makes life so much easier as far as time-wise, but it makes it so much more creative as far as ideas go, because you can brain dump, you can brainstorm, you can even go on there and say, listen, what opportunities am I missing? Knowing what you know about me, what else should I be doing? What am I missing? And it will fill those gaps in for you like nothing else that you have ever used before. As long as you've done it properly and set it up properly and trained it properly, the output is the difference between, mate, give me a coffee, to, mate, I want a caramel latte, half strength, extra hot, lemon, goat's milk, whatever you want in it, and you're going to get exactly what you want. The output is going to make you a lot happier than them giving you a crappy old coffee with no sugar and no milk.
And on that, we better go off, and you better go and get a coffee, missus, because it's early hours in the morning. Let me just pose a reflection question to the viewers, both here tonight and the ones who will follow up afterwards. What part of the process are you still doing manually? Not because they're better that way, but because no one's shown you a smarter path yet. In September, I go back to ChatGPT Advantage course. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to leave that thumbnail up at the end for people to go, and we'll be promoting it out even more. So what part of the process you're doing manually, I guarantee we can help you do it smarter, not harder. There you go. You've seen us plan effectively how to plan a full show live, using those systems. You could do it in 5 minutes. Obviously, ours is a 4-part series over a month. It took a little bit longer, but actually it took a couple of hours over as opposed to a week or so. You've heard how we both use that and what we did previously and how long it took, and that AI, supports our style, I suppose, not replaces it. And that's it. So if you want a 30-minute strategy call with myself and Susie on AI, or with the team at OneStream.live, go to OneStream.live or contact us, send a message, pigeon, burning bush, whatever you want. There's always ways over us, and we will get in touch with you, and we will
love to chat to you.
Next Tuesday, part 2, episode 2, part 2, we will dive into, can AI strategize us? It's all about understanding your audience better with AI-powered insights. So until then, this is me, Big Joe Shep, episode 1 of the AI Livestream Advantage with Suzi Manley. Susie?
Thanks, Joe. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. We need to make these shows like 2 hours when we're talking about AI. 30 minutes isn't long enough.
I'm already 5 minutes. I'm already 5 minutes over, and the team will be watching me going, 30 minutes, big fella, 30 minutes. But you're right. There's so many things.
So many.
But we'll catch up on all of those next week.
Thank you to everyone who's joined us. Great to see you all. Thank you.
Absolutely. From Suzi Manley in Australia, and from me, Big Joe Shep, here in Ireland, on behalf of OneStream Live, thanks very much for everybody. Remember, this is the Big Joe Show, and there's no show like a Big Joe Show. See you next Tuesday. Take care.